Oh, howdy, YouTube. I am Twerkules2016 coming back at you with another reaction to another Joe Cat crap guide video on Final Fantasy XIV. I watched how to be a tank when I was a paladin and ARR, and now with DPS and melee DPS, I am living my best Dragoon life in Heaven's Ward. So I want to do my best to be a good little DPS. And with that, let's get another crap guide in, because Joe Cat is just so fucking funny, fantastic, a wonderful creator, and I just
Everyone
really
always says you should be a
enjoy
team
the
player,
videos.
but honestly, I've always felt like the best way to help the team is by crushing whatever obstacle that's in the way with my heavily toned squat receipts. So that's it.
Yes.
No more playing for anybody else. I play for me, baby.
Yes.
The reason the raid wipes from now on is
Amen.
no longer my fault. I only
Yep.
exist to make big numbers fly towards the screen
Yep.
and watch my skill bar light up like a Christmas tree at a
Yep.
rave party. And you bet your precious patoot the progress preventers will be promptly pounded, because this potent projector of pain will be peppering those beasties until your pack is paved with enough resulting pellets that every peddler will pray to be pampered by a more palatable pacifist.
It just
Welcome
keeps
to a crack
going.
guide to Final Fantasy.
It just kept going.
Being
Melee
a DPS is
DPS
like
me
being
up.
the king of capitalism, because the way you play, taking care of others, is for bitches. Pay no attention to
Father,
anybody
I'm
else's
hungry.
well-being unless it directly affects you, and so long as you're alive and safe, you can act like anything bad that happens around you is probably not your fault. All that
True.
brain power instead will be put towards what really matters. Your
It's never the
complicated as
DPS's
shit
fault.
damage rotation. That's right, step aside tanks 1, 2, 3 and healers 2 damage buttons. These are where the big guys and gals play. Or at least
Yep.
that's what they like to tell themselves, since one of the only party utilities they have to worry about is pressing the faint button once in a blue moon. Their hotbar will more often have dozens of buttons, all dedicated to big damage. The melee
Big
DPS is the
damage.
most important person in the party, as you are the one on the front lines inspecting the bad guy's anus like it's where all the Hrothgar hats are hiding, while avoiding the enemy's sprays of hot, poisonous gamer stank. Not only are you going to be up in their grill, turning their cheeks into a ripe tomato while flip-flopping in and out of danger like you're a politician making pancakes, you're also going to make like an adult film star and learn positionals. Certain attacks in your damage
Positionals,
rotation
nah.
will require you to land them in specific areas around the enemy target, specifically the rear and the flank, in order to deal additional damage. How do you tell where those positions are? By the massive disembodied titty underneath the target. See this nipple? That's the front, where the tank will be sucking on the sweet milkies that are tank busters. This obviously means this conspicuous ticulus on the opposite end is the rear. What about the flank? That'll be on either side of the enemy. And if you're ever confused as to where each area begins and ends, a useful tip on how to tell is imagine there's a big X dividing each of the quadrants. Or you can
Oh,
just press
God.
true north and pretend positionals don't exist, like it's an embarrassing memory of that time you did the Gangnam Style at school, unironically.
They don't
The only time
exist.
it isn't the case is when the enemy has a full ring without an opening, in which case you won't have to
Oh.
worry about any of that guff, and you can just sit there like an off-tank who's actually having fun. Otherwise, between hopping back and forth
That's
in these two
interesting.
spots and running around catching up to the boss whenever the tank feels like doing cardio, your little wall's legs are gonna get so much working out
damn
that they'll
cardio,
be thick as
the
milk
ass
from the
shots.
teats of a whale made of molasses. Which is to say, expect to move a lot. But what if I'm not in the right place for a positional or the boss is far away? Just remember the old adage: always be casting. Even if you're not able to land
Always
your
be
positionals,
casting.
or if the boss
ABC,
is too
baby.
far away to make a melee attack, be sure to always be pressing your buttons no matter what. Unless you're a monk who has no ranged attack and you have to sit there thinking about how your job will inevitably be reworked yet again in the next patch. However, there is another secret epic
Rip.
gamer option that allows you to maximize the DPS you output at the risk of yourself as well as potentially everybody else, but it's usually the healers. This technique is called greed. The funny thing about AoE markers in Final Fantasy XIV is that they only ever mark you for
Greed.
damage if you are standing in them the moment they go away. This means that if you're fast on your fingers, you can stand there DPSing the bad guy while soaking in their radioactive orange juice until the very last second, where you backflip out just as the dropkick of doom skims your
Yep.
fuzzy anime hairs and you don't lose a second of uptime. As I
Yep.
said, however, this is a high
Amen.
risk. If your timing is off and you spend just a millisecond too long, you'll be covered in cheese puffs. You might even die, or in some cases, you'll have to suffer a fate worse than having to read the entire 24-hour chat log of Limsa.
Oh, God.
Damage down. It's okay. Nobody's gonna take away your big damage numbers. Papa's here
okay,
to make
it's
sure you don't greed too hard if you're not ready. Okay. Okay.
Papa's
As
here.
the melee DPS, you also have first dibs on limit break against most bosses, since yours deals the most damage, specifically when they're single. This is because when you hit the limit break button, you're not actually attacking them, just showing them pictures of a happy, healthy relationship, and nothing hurts more than emotional damage. Just ask Urianger. But what are the individual jobs which melee is set up close slappers to thine adversaries? There are five,
Oh,
and
no,
each one
not
is a different flavor of
Urianger.
animated edge. Monk, for those of you who want to go fast, having one of the shortest shortest global cooldowns in the game means you'll be dealing out punches like you're a pissed off caterer at a middle school sock hop. Instead of the traditional combos, each attack puts you in a specific stance. Bird, cat, and monkey. Each one combos into another attack that benefits from each respective stance. Your rotation will be all about swapping stances around more than a kid trying sick moves to impress their crush at a middle school sock hop. You also have perfect balance, which allows you to go freestyle and pick whichever stance you're feeling more at the moment without having to do any of the normal stance setup. If you repeat the same stance 3 times during your freestyle, you get a purple token on your stylish moves punch card. And if you do 3 different stances during the freestyle, you get a white one. Do a freestyle with 3 unique moves one more time while you have both a purple and white tokens on your punch card, and you get to turn it in to make your crush dripping wet with damage, because for some reason you get to kick them in the face. The only problem is you are the only melee without a ranged attack to keep your uptime. And although you do have a dash that lets you zip around like Goku on a triple shot Ristretto down blend macchiato, if ever you find yourself without a target to punch during combat, you can call timeout on your buffs so they stop moving while you have a little cry because your crush rejected you at the middle school sock hop. Dragoon is probably the most straightforward of the melee classes and the one most likely to have a tragic backstory. You've got a 5-button combo that swaps between hard slaps and sakura flowers and a handful of buffs that will turn anybody else in the party into your partner in dragon slaying. What kind of dragon slaying? That's up for you to decide, which you'll have plenty of time to do while you're suspended 20 moms in the air dropping in like a scantily clad human airstrike who's got a date with Nidhogg at 5 and a party at the quicksand at 6. Yes, the Matanga's in the room. Dragoon has several damage-dealing jumps necessary to unlocking special attacks in their rotation.
Dude, the damage-dealing jumps are awesome.
Which means you're stuck and unable to move out of your location while the boss is just about ready to piss all over the floor right before you land. So be wary when using your jumps, lest you fling yourself right into a danger puddle and perpetuate the tired singular joke the 14 community has for the class. On the bright side, though, you do get the objectively best job mentor in the form of Ninja is great for people who enjoy American football, because for every 10 seconds of excitement, there's a minute of fuck all.
Y'all kept referencing that for so long, and now I get to finally experience it.
Where you make the enemy take more damage. And on top of that, you also have the ability to live out every weeb's dream and do a bunch of hand gestures to cast magic attacks, and also drop down into a low position and run with your arms flopping behind you.
Ninja's one I really want to play because it looks so cool.
You go faster. You got 3 hand symbols, and depending on what order you do, you will make a different kind of anime reference. For example, going Chi Tenjin Tenjin Chi Chijin unlocks a secret dark ending of Cory in the house and causes the enemy to be susceptible to bonus damage. But maybe you're facing a mob of enemies who are immune to A-rank powered life forms, so you'll instead have to go Tenjin Jin Chijin Chijin Ten Chijin Tenchi for 3 seasons of Sonic Underground, which will kick sand into their eyes with how fast you'll be running circles around the slowpokes. More or less, you'll have to do some studying up on what combos do what. But here's a secret cheat sheet. Only the final mudra in the sequence matters. Fuck, it's the skill floor police. Cheese it! Samurai, the job most likely to have a dick measuring contest with a black mage. I'd be careful though, their dad works at Square Enix. This weeb is the most selfish of the melees, as it provides no utility for the rest of the party and instead acts like the average soccer player, focusing on being the star of the show who gets all the attention, especially when it drops to the floor clutching its knee when somebody sneezes on them. Your attacks contribute to a kink bar, which allows you to shame the enemy in a variety of ways, as your katana is also a substitute for a horny bat. So you remember how the monk has a punch card? Well, so do you, except yours is your sword and the punches are stickers. You have 3 basic combos, each one giving you a slight buff and slapping a sticker onto your katana. And depending on how many stickers you have, you will get one of 3 different rewards when you turn in your sticker sheet. With 1 sticker, you'll apply a dot that'll last longer than it takes to clean your room. Don't lie to me, I know a majority of my audience has depression. 2 stickers will charge up an AoE around you, and 3 stickers will make...
Oh, this is cool. This is a great edit. Are you kidding? This is amazing. This is JoeCat. This is so good. Oh my god. I want to play a samurai so bad, especially watching this. That was amazing. Someone protect JoeCat at all costs. We have to protect him.
Each sticker attack also gives you an additional separate sticker.
That was
and once
incredible.
You have 3 of those, you get to do an additional. And finally, the Reaper, the transfer student from Garlemald who got the rest to mauled at the fact that they think they're better than the rest of the melees. Which I mean they are, but don't let any Reaper hear you say that. It'll go to their heads. Being the darkest and edgiest of melees means that your job gauge is the Dark Souls HUD. Similar to the Samurai, you build up a bar that can be spent on big slaps. And those big slaps give you edgy boy points that can be spent on additional big slaps. Except this time, they're coral blue number 5 semi-gloss lipstick. Once you've kissed enough boys to build up your fashion bar, you get to turn into a spooky ghost. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. The spooky slice. Now your swings have some spice. You do the slice. It's just your soul that's the price. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. And now you know how to play Melee. You're welcome.
Thanks, JoeCat.
Front of Ilsabad, the land was cold and the people scarred. They sought the void with the daring act and empower themselves with the deviant pact. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice. The spooky slice. Now your swings have some spice. You do the slice. It's just your soul that's the price. You do the slice. You do the spooky slice.
Oh my God. Joe Cat, you probably don't watch the reactions, but I just need you to know that I love you. This is amazing. So freaking good. And Joe Cat, thank you for blessing us with all of this. It's just so funny, but also it is very informative. Like, it's a crap guide, he says, but actually it's a good guide. Like, I didn't know that some enemies positionals just don't matter. You know, I didn't know that, but it's so fucking good. YouTube, thank you for watching this reaction. Twitch, thank y'all for doing this with me. I appreciate it. Yeah, I will catch y'all later on YouTube. Like and subscribe for more reactions and my Final Fantasy 14 playthrough. Stay cheeky, take it easy. See you later.